met us there. And I was able to get funding for them to show up and be
Awesome.
present with their kids. So it was very important. But see, that's a one-time incident. There might be some minute things that are happening in their micro level lifestyle. Doesn't have to be macro. It could be something that's just going on in their little situation. And
Yeah.
how do you deal with that? Do you get mad and act like you got ADHD and get deemed as a problem child because you don't like the stuff that the teacher said? No, the teacher shouldn't be speaking to you anyway. You need to take that. How are you going to deal with that in a good manner? You have the right to be angry, but it's how you deal with it.
Right.
As we learned with Will Smith. I just wanted to put that in. I love Will Smith.
Yeah.
I don't,
Yeah.
it is what it is. He did what he did.
Yeah,
But
that's a
Right.
whole other show.
he from Philly, yeah. What did you?
And-
You thought he
yeah,
was
Yeah.
soft? No, he's from Philly.
yeah. I
You
mean,
know what I'm saying?
We get it. We get it.
So anyway, let's move on because I know that's not had nothing to do with dialysis. But I do want to write some. I even reached out to Henry Gates Jr. and he got back to me within 24 hours. This
Yeah.
is dope. I was like, that's probably his advice, his assistant. But he actually gave me some advice of how to go about like using my plan at Harvard. And he was like, you might not want to do my center because it's more like postgraduate work, postdoctorate level. And you
Okay.
get to use the research lab for like a year or whatever. So he actually got back to me. I'm also thinking of taking it to Southern Poverty Law Center as a piece that they might want to utilize or get behind to try to, lobby to get it into some school systems. And I want to take it all the way up to college so I could teach it. Like maybe my doctorate would be teaching it at a college level and seeing how the response is. A lot of colleges have some type of civil rights. There's always a Black Student Union, but it's
Right.
like, what are you doing with that? Like, I was secretary of Black Student Union when I was in nursing school. However, I ended up being the president because the president always had classes. So, we did some stuff in the community, but we weren't out there protesting. I ain't thought about it back in the 90s. I wasn't doing all that. But now
So-
I'm ready. So, but we also need to teach our youth because we really don't have a lot of youth coming up yet. I don't know. Maybe we do, and I just haven't acknowledged it. But it's meant to encourage. So that's one of my plans.
Awesome.
Also doing some collaborative work with a friend who is a filmmaker, producer. He actually had a literacy program here in Jacksonville that kind of fell by the wayside because of funding. And he's going to try to re-engage that plan here in Jacksonville. My youngest daughter is involved. She's going to be doing some playwriting for him because she's a great writer.
Awesome.
And she's only 19. She'll be 20 in June.
That's great.
So I'm like so excited. But just keeping myself out there, figuring out where we could build big things. I'm the senior grant writer of the organization that I belong to, the Black Commission. So I'm going to keep trying to find larger grants and just go for it and like try to see what I can get, for us to be able to do more. So that's pretty much the plan. Then we're going away, I think October 2023, going to Europe on a cruise,
Nice.
starting out in Rome, which is dope because then we could probably like stay somewhere and then go over to Rome when we're ready to cruise out. So planning that trip.
Good.
That's
great.
I said I
So
like
far
to-
out. I don't know what I'm doing 3 weeks from now. So
Listen, I
That's
jumped up because
great.
they canceled my one cruise that we were supposed to go on in January, and due to COVID and stuff like that. So, one of the people that was a passenger was like, "Yo, we could do something like this," and I'm like, "Heck yeah!" Because I've never done a European cruise, and it was reasonable. It
sounds
was only
great.
like $3,000. I was like, "Yes, let's go."
Let's do it.
So, and you make payments on it. You know what I mean? So 3,000 sounds like a lot, but anything I can lay away, I'm on it. Trust me, I'm like friends with Klarna. I'm friends with Afterpay. I am friends with like everything. Anybody that gives me 4 payments, I'm there. Yeah.
That's it. That's
So,
it.
and just in bringing this to full circle and bringing it to a close, once again, just celebrating you. And, you know, the word of kind of the month has been perseverance. And you are definitely an example of perseverance from the beginning and advocacy, like, you know, things just when we first started talking to you, one of the main things that I think we really were hoping people would get from you is just being an advocate for yourself in your process and in your education. You know, I mean, you had to educate yourself to get yourself through your process to this point without, you know, some people don't get to this point, right?
Right.
And when they do, they're so jacked up because of the process, right? So, you know, you took care of getting it smoothly through the process, because I know there's a lot of doctor's appointments, there's a lot of hospital visits, there's a lot of stuff.
Blood draws.
Yeah, I mean, and people not finding, you know, vein, you know, all that, like all the stuff that we heard you talk about that has now gone poof.
Right.
And that, to me, I celebrate it as your brother. I celebrate it as just someone who, you know, just
as an advocate. You're an advocate too.
Yeah. So, and it's, you know, to have it happen within this, you know, WDD family, you know what I mean? Like, you know, Elliot got his transplant a couple of years ago and he's doing well. And so you're like the second of our, you know, of the WDD family. So, you know, we talked about doing a documentary, and our documentary is Lifetime. You know what I mean? It's not like, you know what I mean? So we get to follow your progression, and, you know, we might tap into your grant writing skills so that we can expand what we're up to.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that we'll talk more about that. And education thing, like I'm working on the preschool part of that to feed into what you're doing, you know, and, you know, I'm going to introduce you to my man, Dr. Stephen Cleveland, who's a professor and has a Black Excellence program in college, and he's trying to bring it to high school. So basically we're bookending, and we're gonna handle a lot of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yes,
that's what's up.
Awesome.
That's what's up.
So anyway, as we bring this to a close, Maurice, anything you want to bring to it?
Yeah, I'm just so happy for you. And when we started this process, I don't know if you know, so I was sitting around trying to figure out what I could do. I've been a dialysis technician for a long time, and I felt like I was handcuffed. I really, you know, you know, we have all these things about HIPAA, and I can't do this and I can't do that. It was everything that I couldn't do, but they never told me what I could do.
Right.
So I was trying to figure out a way to do something. I'd never made a film. Ira's the film guy, and he, you know, I remember when he was doing Ice Entertainment, and I was in the military, you know what I mean?
Right.
Wow. I was coming to visit. And so one night I just thought I wanted to have something down so that I could figure out what I needed to do next. And when I got to the end of that and I didn't know what to do, I called Ira. And I said, Ira, I got this idea. And I haven't expounded on it. I probably had 5 sentences. And I said, I want to do something, but I need you. And he said, man, I'm going to think about it. Let's get it together. And he went away. He came back to me and he said, yep, let's do it, Reese. And we started planning. And a day later, he got the call that you needed dialysis.
Oh, wow.
And so that's how that whole thing played out.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he had a chance to tell you, but that was the beginning of what we're doing. And now we see you have a transplant and not need dialysis anymore. And it's, you know, and it was the catalyst for all of this. And so I just wanted to share that with you and tell you that we appreciate that, and we're so happy for you.
Gone full circle.
Yes.
And there's still more to do.
More to do.
And we're just getting
started.
We're spiraling upward.
Yes, most definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Great.
That's powerful.
So we're gonna have more conversations because you know we'll continue the movement. What's the deal with dialysis education movement that we've created here? And so until the next time, we go enjoy that sunny day.
Yes, you do. Sunflowers in the back, man.
I'm at my daughter's house. Don't be impressed. I'm babysitting.
Awesome.
The kids are inside with my husband. But my daughter is very spiritual.
And I just love that you're sitting on the porch. That's so like, you know, Florida Southern, you know, Florida kicking it. Anyway, go into your day well. And we're going to just say goodbye to the good people. Until the next time, take care of yourself. Be well.
Take care. Yep. Be well.
Ashe and peace and blessings.
Thank you. Peace and blessings.